You know, I'm out here mending fences. It's meditative work where you don't have to problem solve with your logical mind, and that's when you can be in your soul and pursue the deeper thoughts. And as I am solving the problem of this wire that doesn't want to bend, I got to thinking about, integration. I got to thinking about this concept that we hold about being separated from God. We think of that in terms of one person to another, because we have personified God as a being, and we're forever trying to be brought into co-union or communion with that being. It can never work because the mind is constantly looking for the apparition of Jesus or God as a person to appear and, I don't know, maybe hug you and take you in their arms, in his arms. I don't know what you're envisioning for what that union should look like. But for me, and I keep saying that, I and God are one. I keep saying that using words, but these words mean different things to different people based on their mental expectation. And this just came to me, how in the mind of duality, in thinking of God in a anthropomorphic manner as a being, we expect there to be a being to receive us. We can't ever get to the oneness state consciously, because we're looking for something that this natural mind of ours can conceptualize and perceive, right? The natural mind cannot perceive energy, cannot perceive oneness, cannot perceive that you are the consciousness that is God, right? So it'll be impossible to ever find union with God that way. But if you understand God to be consciousness, then you can have union with that already right now, because it's a conscious state. It's not a place that you go to, right? It's not a place in heaven that we go to. So just trying to articulate that. As a Christian, you can never be unified with God because you're looking for a person. And a person, any apparition of a person or being is a 3D concept of the mind. And mind cannot access 5D, the higher dimensions. Mind is always looking for a linear something when God is actually no thing. And yet God is everything. Does that make sense? So the only way you can unify with God, the only way you can resolve the separation is through consciousness, by realizing that you are the consciousness that is God. You have to get beyond the 3D identification with your person, with your ego, with your human form, because you are so much more than that. You are the consciousness that is animating the human form, right? And that in biblical terms, is what we have called God for aeons, right? That invisible energy that animates our soul, that animates this avatar that we are in. But we're not the avatar. We are the force that animates it. That's not a separate thing like a hand that fills a glove. That's separation consciousness. You are both. You're the glove and the hand, right? God is not separate. God is not the hand that fills your glove, that fills your avatar. In one sense, it is, but that's not the only way to perceive it. Go step outside of your 3D identity. Step into heaven. Step into the other side, into the consciousness, into the side of consciousness, and you will realize that you are that. You're also there, right? You are omnipresent, omnipotent, just not in your human identity, but in your spirit identity, in your conscious identity, you are. Does that make sense? So only through consciousness can you become unified with that which we call God, with that consciousness that is God, because you are that consciousness.